Hello, Ottawa, Gatineau, and welcome to another episode of DITC Social. Oops, and this is a great start to the show. This is what happens when everything is not right. It's so fun. All right. So let's see if this works. All right. So, bonjour, welcome to DITC Social Live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. I am so glad to have you join me this evening. Tonight, we will be discussing some hot topics, but keeping them light and fluffy and taking some of your questions. So feel free to comment on whatever platform that you are on, and we will bring you into the conversation. Ce soir, nous discutons de certains sujets en les gardant légers et amusants, et en répondant à certaines de vos questions. N'hésitez pas à faire part avec vos commentaires, quel que ce soit sur la plateforme que vous vous trouvez, et nous ferons participer à la conversation. Bon, là, je vais faire pause là-dessus, et je vais faire ça, and I'm going to do this. There we go. Before I get going, I would like to pay respect to the Algonquin people, who are traditional guardians of this land. We acknowledge their long-standing relationship with this territory, which remains unceded. We pay respect to all Indigenous people in this region from all nations across Canada who call Ottawa home. We acknowledge the traditional knowledge keepers, both young and old, and we honor their courageous leaders, past, present, and future. Nous rendons hommage au peuple algonquin, gardien traditionnel de cette terre. Nous reconnaissons le lien sacré de longue date, l'unissant à ce territoire qui demeure non cédé. Nous rendons également hommage à tous les peuples autochtones qui habitent Ottawa, qu'ils que ce soit de la région ou d'ailleurs au Canada. Nous reconnaissons les gardiens des savoirs traditionnels, jeunes et âgés. Nous honorons aussi leurs courageux dirigeants d'hier, d'aujourd'hui, et de demain. I want to preface this conversation by stating that this is a safe space and that our conversation today is based on mutual respect, openness, and understanding. So feel free to comment on whatever platform that you are on, and we will bring you into the conversation. Je tiens à préciser que nous sommes dans un contexte sécuritaire et que la conversation d'aujourd'hui se doit être d'imprégnante de respect mutuel, d'ouverture et de compréhension. Joignez-vous à la conversation en soumettant des commentaires à partir de la plateforme que vous êtes. All right, let's bring on the guests. Amenons les invités. And I'm going to pause this because now I can do this a little faster. And I'm going to move this over. There we go. You can prepare all you want, but you're never ready. Seriously. Today's show is all about the Tone Clusters, quite a queer choir, and with their virtual event, Make the Yuletide Gay, a free virtual concert featuring the members of the Tone Clusters with special guest, Mz Horzion. That will be premiered on December 14th at 7:30 p.m. on the Tone Cluster YouTube channel. Today, I have three guests from the Tone Clusters, quite a queer choir. My first guest is Deidre Kellerman, the artistic director of the group. Hello, Deidre. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Andre?
I am doing pretty good. So my second guest is Rob, the longtime singer and board president. Bonsoir, Rob.
Hello there, Andre. It's happy to be here. It's the perfect show really for us to get the message out about what we're up to.
That's certainly correct. I'm going to bring on Janelle as well, but let me tell you, I had tears when I saw that other video that we're going to show a little later on, but we'll talk about that in a bit. And I also have my third guest is Janelle, longtime singer and fundraising and social media for the Tone Clusters. Hello, Janelle.
Hi, Andre. How are you?
I'm doing good. I actually just remembered we met many years ago at a little Portuguese bar in Vanier.
Oh, yes, where I was the karaoke DJ.
Correct.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
That's really funny.
Many good nights there. Yes, many good nights. All right. let's get in with the first question. Tell me a bit about Tone Clusters, Quite a Queer Choir.
Well, I guess I'll start that off. Tone Clusters. It's approximately a 40-member LGBTQ2 plus choir, and we're based in Ottawa. And we've, I guess, the 2020-2021 seasons, Tone Clusters, 27th season, and it's our first virtual season, and we're striving for excellence and celebrating diversity in music and in the community.
That's amazing. And how many years has Tone Clusters been going?
Well, 27.
27 years. I think 2 years ago, I went to the concert in Nepean, I guess it was, near the library. It was a big concert, and I can't remember what the concert was about, but it was really good. It was my first one.
Ah, yes, we've been usually doing about 3 concerts a year and a major fundraiser, and we've grown from when we started, we were around 10, 12 members, and we've grown steadily since then. So,
well, that's good to hear. And you still got people joining as you are all virtual now too? Yeah.
Yes, we were quite surprised. We thought when we went virtual that we might lose some members who couldn't get used to the technology, but as it turned out, we ended up at the start of the season with more members than we had traditionally. So it was a really nice surprise. And then with Deidre's energy and rehearsals, that has really kept people staying and sustained for sure.
So that was my follow-up question. How often do you rehearse?
On Monday nights, and every week on Monday nights, and then sometimes the sections may get together on their own and do a little bit of rehearsing on their own using Zoom, of course. Yeah.
But well, I have that capability, so maybe I think I should probably join. I'm not sure. It's been many years. Yeah. Well, and I'm also working on an album, so maybe we could work on throwing the Tone Clusters into that album as well, right?
Hey, opportunities.
You know what I'm saying? We got to keep each other going. All right.
Yeah, keep the collaboration up.
So the whole point of choirs is singing as a group. And how has the process of singing together during this pandemic changed in these times?
Well,
do you want to talk about online rehearsals a bit?
Yeah, I can feel that one a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's changed in the obvious way that we've had to move to a virtual platform and really take a crash course. For some of us in technology, how to use the record function on the phone, how to even upload files from your phone to the computer, just things like that. But I think it's been a really good learning curve. I think it's been a really good learning curve for everybody, despite the frustrations. And the stuff that has come out of it has been really amazing, more than I would have thought in the beginning undertaking this. Yeah.
That is good to hear. See, I'm just doing exactly what I told you guys to do, you folks, and what not to do. But yes, so I'm all good now. Right. So Deidre, as you just started as the virtual artistic director, what is it like to start directing a group over Zoom when you have not worked with them before in person?
It's bizarre times. I think that it might have been a little scarier for the singers than it was for me at the beginning, especially for folks who hadn't ever worked with me in any other choirs or places before. The conductor-singer relationship is all about vulnerability and trust. Yep. And like any relationship, that takes time to build. And usually we would be in spaces together, and there's a certain energy you can only get from people when you're in the same room as them. Yep. And so not only have the singers had to kind of jump on board in a new way of doing choir than we've ever done before, but suddenly they had to record themselves singing by themselves and send it to me. So the amount of
I hope that they were on key, right?
right? Having to sync everything. So it's like all this new technology requirement, a new person that, you know, they're still getting to know me. And so it's a lot of trust that they're kind of putting out blindly. And so I've just been, you know, I've been amazed by the quality of the singing and the creativity, but I think I've just been most impressed that all these singers have just kind of dived in and said, yeah, sure, we'll do this. That's been really awesome.
It's the perfect thing, because I remember, like, I work for the federal government during the day as well. And when my dad passed away 11 years ago, we always had a Christmas choir, the PSPC Christmas choir. And I joined it that year. And I was like, you know what? It's, you know, it's something to get my mind off it, to try and get myself to like Christmas again. And it was very soothing and fun. And I'm sad that I didn't continue doing it, because I just, with the job I had, I couldn't do it anymore. But maybe now that I've got enough time that I'm going stir crazy in my house by myself all day long, maybe the choir would be a good thing. So
yeah. Well, there you go. There are so many physical and mental benefits to singing in a choir, and some of them we don't get right now because we aren't singing together. But you know, so many of them are still there, still apparent.
Yeah. Well, it's great. Like I said, I was telling you a little while ago, is when I did the community day in August, and the Tone Clusters provided me with the Tiny Lights video, and I got to be part of the previewing party, and I had only one beer at that point in that afternoon, but I cried. It was so moving and amazing, and that's why I'm going to show it tonight, to give folks an idea on what to expect on making the Yuletide Gay. So I loved it. It was powerful and it was amazing. So I cannot wait to see what you've done with the videos that I've given you and what you guys have all been doing. So my goodness. Well, so that's my point. Diversity Capital Pride Day. So I actually said what I wrote down, which is pretty good. So now I'm surprising myself every day. So I'm going to show the Tiny Lights video now. We are going through our questions really fast, so we're going to have to slow down and talk about a few other things. But let's show the Tiny Lights video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tone Clusters that provided us with the video. Do you want to introduce it, Rob, and let everybody know what it is?
Sure. So when the pandemic hit in March, Tone Cluster had to cancel 2 shows and its fundraiser, and then this was before Deidre took over, and we needed to keep the choir engaged and keep our audience connected to us. So Summer Pride was coming, and we wanted to be there virtually for that. So in June, the board greenlit TC's first virtual choir video. We hired a production company to help us put it together. We had one of our members, Corden Purcell, conduct the video, and we got the permission of the songwriter, Coco Love Elkhorn, and the arranger, Dennis Donnelly, to let us use the arrangement. As we said, we released it in time for Pride. So we knew the song was special to the choir because it was sung at the memorial service for one of the singers who passed away earlier that year. So we launched
I added her to the in memoriam that I played that day too.
Yes, she did. That was very, very sweet.
Yes.
And we launched it on our YouTube channel in August, and we have about 2,500 views on it now and counting. And it really gave the choir hope, you know, that the season ahead was going to work in a virtual environment. And the hope grew even stronger when Deidre stepped in September as our artistic director virtual.
Yes, and I'll never forget that. I think it was a message through Facebook that I got. Hi, I'm Deidre, and I'd like to talk to you about an event. And I'm in a Walmart parking lot going, what you got, girl? What's going on? What are we doing? What can I do for you? No, it was wonderful. And I appreciate you all for everything you do. And And through everything going on, music is helping a lot of people to get out of really bad times. Whenever I'm feeling horrible, like the last couple of days of work, anyways, so I've been listening to a lot of music to try and soothe my soul and not let things get to me too much. So, all right, well, let's show the Tiny Lights video, ladies and gentlemen. So I have to look over my teleprompter to get rid of a couple of people. I will bring you all back momentarily, but here is the Tiny Lights video.
We take a chance when we can. We take a break from having a plan. We are bold, invite surprise, and feel our spirits rise. We are tiny lights that sparkle and glow in a world much bigger than we'll ever know. We are tiny lights shining so bright in a world we know is gonna be alright. We celebrate through love and play. We take a minute every day. We trace the shadows far away, finding colors in the gray. We are tiny lights that sparkle and glow in a world much bigger than we'll ever know. We are tiny lights shining so bright in a world we know is gonna be alright. If you try and I try and we try, we can light each tiny light. If you try and I try and we try, we can light the world tonight. We are tiny lights that sparkle and glow in a world much bigger than we'll ever know. We are tiny lights shining so bright in a world we know it's gonna be alright. Yeah, we know the world is gonna be alright. But we know this tiny lights.
Hi, I'm Phyllis.
And I'm Therese, and we're members of Tone Cluster's alumni. We hope you enjoyed Tone Cluster's first virtual choir video as much as we enjoyed taking part in it.
Tone Cluster is a proud member of the LGBTQ plus community for over 26 years. The COVID-19 pandemic has meant that Tone Cluster has had to take its activities and move them online.
In the 2019-2020 season, the choir had to cancel 2 concerts and its major fundraiser. If you enjoyed the video and are able to help the choir out at this difficult time, please visit tonecluster.ca and click the donate button.
Thank you so much for your support.
Wow, that's very, very powerful. I can't wait to see what you've got coming up next. The problem when you put something really amazing out there is that you got to follow it up with something even more amazing.
Gotta follow it up.
More glitter,
Well,
more sparkle balls.
and I mean, our Christmas concert, you know, it's holiday themed and it's very campy, and so it will be a very different feel than Tiny Lights. We'll have some Tiny Lights feeling type songs again, but yeah, holy moly, is that ever moving? It's like the perfect song for Tone Cluster.
It is. It is. I had not heard the song before until I actually saw it. So. Wow. So how do you maintain your sense of community?
Well, I guess I'll start and everyone else can chime in. Sure. So in its long history, like Tone Cluster's been very active in collaborating with other choirs, youth, LGBTQ refugee organizations, seniors, the trans community, art, all sorts of artists locally. And also a lot of other community organizations. So, so our upcoming season, we're continuing to do that kind of collaboration as well. And Deidre will tell you more about that when she talks about the season. But yeah, we still want to continue that collaboration. Honestly, it is a challenge in the COVID virtual environment to engage other community organizations, but you know, we still keep that thread. It's still very important to us.
Oh, well, it is very important. And like I said, like there's not too many things that are going on right now that the weather is changing and whatnot. Like it's more difficult to be outside, to just get out of the house. But being part of a virtual choir could be something really amazing. Just saying.
We try to stay connected with each other as well through, you know, we've sort of ramped up our social online sort of social things, but you know, we try to have like little wine and cheeses now and then, or we hold like karaoke nights, or you know, we try to do things outside of our choir time as well that sort of foster the sense of belonging, especially for the new people who have joined this year, because when you join a choir physically, you totally get it's a whole different experience, like being brought into the fold in a way, right? The way that you sort of become family with each other. And in COVID times, that's much different. You don't have those same connections. And so we're working harder to try to make, you know, people feel as welcome and as part of Tone Cluster as they would if we were meeting face to face as well.
So this wasn't part of the questions, but is there an audition process, or do you just have to submit a video to tell people you can actually sing? Like I watched that I Can See Your Voice after The Masked Singer, and some of them can't sing. Like what the...
Right. Yeah. I mean, I am of the, you know, I'm a trained vocalist and conductor and music educator. And I think that a lot of music educators like myself would say that anyone can sing. It's just that people come at different levels of comfort with their voice, ability to use their voice from a technical perspective, being able to read music, to not read music. In Tone Cluster, there is an audition process, but you know, we have to think about it big picture. So there are some people who read music, they might play instruments, have backgrounds professionally in the arts, and that's awesome. There's other people that, you know, they learn music orally by ear, don't read music as well, but are really strong musicians in other ways. And so everyone kind of, there's this big, broad skill set and experience, but everyone is bringing something to the table, and it makes for a really talented group, as I think you'll see in our Make the Yuletide Gay concerts.
Can you give us a little hint of something special that not too many people know about?
About the concert?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
A little teaser. Give us a teaser.
We got a little teaser. We've already name dropped Mz Horzion showing up throughout the concert.
Yep.
We do have some special guests. In Harmony, a women's choir for lesbians, queer women, and their allies are joining us. And also, and that this actually got confirmed today. So here you go, Rob and Janelle. We have Queer Kids on the Block, which is a newer group that are joining us as well. So you know, this has been fabulous in terms of, you know, we are you know, in Harmony, Q Kids on the Block, new tone cluster. There's also the OGMC, Ottawa Gay Men's Choir, and we make up the queer choirs in Ottawa for the most part. And it's so important that we maintain, you know, we're talking about community, keeping that sense of community going. We really try hard not to have any sort of like rivalry or competition. Like, we're all connected, we're all supportive, we're a family together. And so it's been really awesome to be able to collaborate with them. And we'll be collaborating with OGMC in the spring as well. So it's really great that all of these choirs have been able to keep making music through this time. And it's a hard platform. It's really hard to pull a whole concert together virtually. So it's really nice that we can all support each other that way.
Oh, yes. And anything you want to send me, I will put on the diversity page at any time, because that's what this channel is for, is sharing community videos. Speaking of which, and I spoke to you all briefly a little while ago, but so I think I have to remove you all for a moment, but Mz Horzion song, and you might be part of the virtual choir, which would be really fun to see yourself. That's gotta stop. Why am I sharing my desktop now?
At least it's cute kittens on your desktop.
You can never go wrong with kittens.
Right?
Yeah, that's Pat and Zuma. They're little hands. They were being little wackadoos this evening. So, all right, let's get to your next question. Have there been any unexpected pros to this pandemic situation?
There sure have been.
Take that first.
Janelle's going, I mean, and that's the thing, right? Is like you have to kind of force yourself to see the silver lining sometimes, and that, you know, whether it's virtual choir or anything in this whole COVID situation, and you know, you have to push the optimism side of yourself, I think. But there for sure has, I mean, and Rob and Janelle jump in with other ones yourself, but a big one for me is being able to connect with alumni of Tone Cluster who have moved to different parts of the country or different parts of the world and are able now to come back to Tone Cluster and participate as regular members, which is super, super great. You know, Janelle said family earlier on, talking about community, and going back to that a little bit, you know, especially in queer spaces, the concept of chosen family is something that's really important.
Yep.
And for Tone Cluster, it is chosen family. And, you know, some people have met their partners through Tone Cluster and their best friends and the people that they spend the holidays with. And so to be able to connect back with some people, some alumni, and welcome them back has been really great. That's a really wonderful pro to the whole thing. And then also being able to share our concerts with the whole world. Tone Cluster tours quite a bit, going to festivals. I obviously just started, so I haven't been able to do that, but Rob and Janelle both have, and we're going to be able to show other choirs that we've worked with in the past our concerts, and that's really cool.
Well, the vaccine apparently is starting next week from what I saw this evening, and you know it must be happening because Ricky Martin and Enrique Iglesias are doing a concert in Montreal in October. So I have a feeling that we'll be back pretty soon.
This means that we can program in live things for the fall, right? If Ricky's doing it.
You know, we've actually, the pandemic has really helped us get even more engaged as a choir, really. I mean, we set up committees such as a COVID committee for how we're going to deal with the transition back, a bylaw review committee, an external communications committee, so that we can keep in touch with our audience and promote our virtual shows. We have a fundraising committee. We've got, as Janelle spoke to earlier, we have the social committee that keeps us going with some social activities, usually 1 or 2 a month. Yep. And then also helps in the planning for the future of the choir. So this kind of isolation has really kind of helped us take a step back and look at, well, what are we doing as an organization, and like what do we want to accomplish in the coming years? And we've even been more active in keeping in touch with our audience on using social media as well. We've had posts about concerts we've done, clips from concerts we've done in the past, and trivia, and just shout outs about some of the other artists that we've collaborated with in the past. But just it all keeps that thread with the audience as well as keeping our choir engaged. So, you know, if there is some positives in all this, those are some of them, for sure.
Yeah, and it's really true. I mean, sorry, go ahead, Janelle.
I was going to say the joy for me has really just been in surviving. You know, it's, you know, we broke our season like last March. We couldn't come back together, and you know, it was really hard at first to wonder, like, would we have the financial ability to carry on? Like, how would COVID impact us? Would we lose, you know, singers because we couldn't find a way to rehearse or sing? And so the joy of surviving has really, you know, been really great. And not only surviving, but thriving. I feel like this year it's like
thriving has been the hard part. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But I feel like we're doing it. We're, you know, there's a lot of excitement about our upcoming concert and about our season.
And it's free, right? So there's no cost to it, right?
Yeah, there's no cost. And you know, it's really interesting, you know, normally we would have to worry about venues and printing programs and doing like posters and print promotions,
text, and lighting text, and
right, all of these things. And also the members of the choir are up there in live performances doing it. And I always say to singers and choirs I work with, I wish that I could pull people individually one by one so that they could hear what the choir sounds like, the choir that they're in. But it can't work that way in a rehearsal. But this way we can. Everyone actually gets a sense themselves of what Tone Cluster is like. And that's really cool. And
so do you record do
Yeah.
you record your Zoom sessions and then provide the link to everybody so they can actually hear what everybody sounds like when you do it, or?
No, so the way it works, I mean, as we all know, the internet being what it is, there is lag galore, and because of the lag, not just on we happen to use Zoom, but on any platform, we can't all sing at the same time. It just doesn't work. It's beautiful chaos, but just not feasible for choirs. So everyone's mics are off, and I lead rehearsal by singing into the abyss. So everyone at home gets to sing along with me in duet, which is great because it's developing musical skills and ability to be able to hold your own part.
So did I just hear you're a vocal coach, or are you offering your services?
Come join Tone Cluster.
If I'm putting an album together, then I really need to talk to you coming up there. We got Chichi Rodriguez. Mario's watching. Hello, sister. So carry on. I squirreled there. I do that.
It's okay. It is very bizarre because I get no oral feedback during a rehearsal. I see people's mouths moving. They'll ask questions in the chat, but I have no idea, what's going well, what people are struggling with until I hear the recording. So each week, the singers get what I call homework. They'll have audio homework and video homework. And so it's a lot more work for the singers than normal. They can't just show up on Monday. They have to do a lot of at-home projects. And then I get to hear everyone individually. And I'm putting together the audio, and it's like this really cool puzzle, a backwards puzzle.
So there's a method to your madness. You're getting them to do all that so you can put one thing together, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I start layering everything together and start slowly but surely to hear the full tone cluster sound as these voices get put together. And it's pretty cool too with the videos, in a live performance, tone cluster will do choreography sometimes, there'll be stage directions. But for this, I pretty much let people do whatever they want, and it's much more of a collaborative process between myself and the singers, and I get to see these. You want a kind of cheeser for the concert? There are costumes and outfits and dancing, and I have been amazed by how fun everyone is making this individually. It is going to be a feast for the eyes.
It's the new norm for now, right? I'm seeing a lot of even female impersonators and drag queens. They're upping their MTV music video now. There's no more big shows out. I mean, there's still a couple of places still doing shows, but a lot of people are still afraid to go out. So put it online and just let it go, right? Let it go, let it go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Please,
so true.
No comments right now, not tonight.
I was just thinking it'd be so great. Just join Tone Cluster.
I'm seriously thinking about it, and I actually really do want to talk to Deidre because I've got DJ Russian Noise that's currently working on a remix song for me, and I'm writing the lyrics. So because I've been through cancer in the last since January, I've got lots that's been on my mind and lots to write about. So I told him I want a share song, a disco dance kind of song, and maybe we have to have the tone clusters in there to sing in there as well. That would be wonderful.
Very cool.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll chat.
And I have to actually be a member of Tone Clusters to make that happen. So I will be auditioning. I'll send you my YouTube link. Is that what you need? Or check out Facebook. Sometimes I get into a mood and I just record a song just because, well, you need to smile, and that's the way I like to smile.
Sometimes you just gotta sing. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. What are your plans for the rest of the season?
Why don't I talk about the concerts and then Rob, you can talk about show tune?
Sure.
So we're doing 2 more concerts after this, which is, what we regularly would do, about three concerts a year. So we're sticking with that. We'll have another show coming up in early March, and another one in June. And doing a holiday show, it's so easy thematically because it's a holiday show. There's so much music out there. For our March and June shows, for me personally, as a conductor, it's really important to, have a common thread throughout all the music, to have kind of a story and a purpose behind it, and to be able to say this show is about this. And so when I was thinking about what I thought Tone Cluster should sing about and talk about, it felt like we couldn't ignore what the current situation is. And so resiliency was something that really came to mind. So our show in March will be called Don't Stop Me Now. And that is what it will be about, is keep on keeping on and resiliency, and
myself not to start singing.
Right. Celebrating the strength of our community. So that's going to be very different from our upcoming December show, but it will be a really powerful thing. And then,
and what about June? June is my birthday month, so it has to be something spectacular.
So June is going to be all about self-love. And
I'm a Gemini, so that fits.
Yeah, we'll be collaborating with Ontario singer-songwriter Jada Kelly, and we'll be working on a collab with her on one of her pieces called Make Peace with It, which will also be the title of our show. And we'll be singing songs that really touch on that kind of a process of, we've gone from resiliency and kind of not aggressive, but really strong, saying like, we've got this, we'll get through, to kind of a more intimate look of what it means to kind of go through your own journey. And so, yeah, really, really looking forward to collaborating with Jada. Really looking forward to exploring that, such a vulnerable topic, but kind of embracing the vulnerability that comes from these online rehearsals and projects.
Wow, that sounds spectacular. And Rob, what do you got?
Well, and between those 2 concerts, there's our annual fundraiser, Show Tune Showdown, which is
That's the one I went to.
Musical theater.
There you go. Yeah.
Show, yes. And we've been doing that since 2005, and we've done it at Centerpoint, and we had to cancel it last year because of the COVID thing.
Yeah.
We basically are pivoting, and we've reinvented the show. It's going to be virtual, and it's going to be April the 24th, 2021. And we've got 3 arts groups that are raring to go from Ottawa that want to compete, and in fact, they're grateful to be invited, because a lot of them are dark right now. Those theater spaces are dark, and this is really a wonderful opportunity to showcase some of the people in their organization, give them an opportunity, and then we have some judges a judging panel that will be there, always friendly. And of course, Tone Cluster will do the opening number. I just got a brilliant idea, and it's just because it fell into my head. But all these dark theaters could still have a choir in them, but it's reverse, where the choir is in the seats, socially distanced, while they sing.
Yeah, like a good music video idea.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we're we still haven't even done an outdoor rehearsal yet. I think
no doubt.
The good news about the vaccine is we're hoping that we can eventually get to the point where we can do some of these things in person.
I can't wait. I'm going absolutely bonkers working from home. I hate it. I hate it. I dislike it. Did I say I hate it? I hate it. I'm a people person.
How do you really feel, Andre?
I can't walk away from the computer and talk to two cute little cats like you saw on the desktop. Like they just I don't speak meow and brrr, meow. Like no, I don't. Yeah,
that's all I do all day.
Yeah, you too, Janelle. That's all you hear all day long too.
No, that's all I do all day. That's how I talk to my cat all day. Meow.
Yeah. Lay mew. Oh, what? You want a treat? All right, let's go.
Exactly.
And then work finishes.
There's another pro. We've been able to bring pets to rehearsal. See,
Yeah.
that is a really big pro to this whole thing.
Yes.
Yes, our puppy Nellie will probably appear in one of the videos too. We had to record them at home, so of course I'm dancing around with the Westie puppy in my arms. It was very.
Oh
very
yeah. See, well, remember when they came out at Christmas time when all those dogs were doing jingles to Jingle Bells or whatever? You need to add some dogs into the show. It'll be great.
Yeah.
There's little lame news there from Janelle and myself there. Then we got the whole farm. E-I-E-I-O.
I dressed my cat right up for the video, and he's so mad. He's so angry, and I love it.
And I'm a proud father. I put my 2 kids in there too. So yeah, no problem. You let me know. You guys are hilarious. All right. So why is it important for choirs to keep singing during this time?
I'm going to throw back to something Deidre said earlier, which is I jotted down a note, just about how we know that during the pandemic, mental health has suffered. Stats Canada even has shown that Canadians' mental health has gotten worse, especially for marginalized groups and people in the LGBTQ community. And we also know that singing together in a choir sort of helps buffer against some of those things, and it actually can help improve your mental health. And so I feel that, like Deidre said, even though it doesn't have all of the same benefits, seeing everyone's faces, all the people that I love and I have missed, seeing the people that I haven't seen, some of them in a couple of years because they've moved away and they've come back for the season. It's been really wonderful. I'm really excited before choir starts, and I'm there, waiting in the Zoom room, waiting for it to open, and it's been great. It's been a real lifeline to get through this.
So I'm going to ask you right now, how do people contact you if they want to be part of the Tone Clusters?
You can write info.
Yeah, they
go ahead,
info at tonecluster.ca, I believe. Yes. And if you go into our website, tonecluster.ca, you can click on Audition, and then it gives you the link to email, and Deidre receives those emails and can contact to let you know when the next opportunity is. The
next opportunity will be in January, and it's audition is such a scary word for a lot of people. All you do is come to one of our rehearsals to check it out, especially because it's online. I think it's really important that people get a sense of what, Monday nights would look like for them. And then just taking some time with me on Zoom, and we just sing some vocal exercises, letting me have a sense of what your voice sounds like, where it would fit. And we just kind of chat about musical experience and that kind of stuff. So I try, as I'm also a singer, I have been through all of these scary auditions. I know what it feels like. So I try my best to make it as relaxed and fun an experience as possible.
See, I've been a singer for, over 20 years now, because I used to work at a karaoke bar in Elmer, where I was born and raised. And performing in drag in Toronto for many years. I sang, but it's funny. I've never auditioned it vocally, but I auditioned for Walt Disney's World on Ice and figure skating, and I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to audition because I didn't make Walt Disney's World on Ice. Mickey didn't like me.
I promise you that a tone cluster audition is not probably as hard as a Disney on Ice.
Oh no, I already know. Well, I'm going to be submitting my info, and I can't wait for our date, Deidre. Seriously, I'm looking forward to
awesome.
it. It will be fun,
So
and
good.
because of somebody who's been, all the chemo treatments and everything, I need something to get myself motivated. Like doing these shows once a week is great, but I need something to, put that little spark, and that little light inside of me needs to get out and shine. So that's the perfect
And,
way.
I mean, it is truly not an exaggeration to say that choir has saved lives. And that's such a great way to put it. It sounds cheesy, but it's so true. It's like letting your light shine.
Yeah.
And choir, we've said that music itself can be such a comfort, but when you put that together with singing with other humans,
Yep.
it's just something really, really
And you
special.
don't have to be the best singer, right? Because you're being
No.
surrounded by an entire orchestra of voices, which
Yeah,
highlights
it's a team
yours,
sport.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you sing in the
that's why-
shower and you love the way it sounds in the shower, then send Tone Clusters a message, because if it's good enough for the shower, it could be good enough for them.
You can also reach us through our Facebook site, through our Facebook page as well. Send a message to our inbox and we'll get it to the right person.
Yep. So anybody watching this right now, above in the description of this live video, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, the information is there. Click on the Tone Clusters, Quite a Queer Choir, and it'll bring you right to their page. Listen, this has been a lot of fun. I am so glad. I cannot wait. I am so excited to see what you've done with the videos. Mz Horzion had a really fun day. Let me just say, and if my boss is watching, Valentina, thank you so much, because I did a makeup session last Friday, and I'm like, I really need an hour. That's it, just an hour to film a couple of things, and I managed to do a couple of videos and send them off. I cannot wait to see what they look like. It's my first time performing Mz Horzion with looking like a hockey player. So I'm looking forward to see.
Gorgeous.
Remember those years ago when they used to talk about Dynasty? Well, now I need to check it. Oh my goodness. I know I'm horrible. So thank you. Supporting local LGBTQ2 businesses. Most are all online. So please support your local commerce by going to their site and buying something to give that special someone for Christmas. I want to thank you all for being here with me live from Finley Creek and your homes. And I wish you lots of love and goodness during this time. And look forward to seeing what you all have got going on through social media. Share your stories with me. And you can see it here on a Wednesday night. Your favorite meal, your favorite dish, whatever you want. Next week, I will be sharing my favorite things with the help of many special guests, including the one and only Canadian Idol, Eva Avila. She is going to be here talking to me about some of her favorite things that she's got, as well as many other special guests. My phone has been blowing off the hook once I told a couple of people who I have coming. So I've got some more guests coming that I'm going to be announcing by this Saturday. So you have a couple of days to watch this uninterrupted. I'm not as rich as Oprah, so it's not an Oprah style show. We're not going to be giving a whole bunch of things away, but I am going to give a few things away. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday night, the 16th, I believe it is, for my favorite things. And you might get your chance to win something in time for the holidays. La semaine prochaine, je partagerai mes choses préférées avec l'aide de nombreux invités spéciaux. Donc, la seule et unique idole canadienne, Eva Avila, qui sera ici pour nous montrer une couple de ses choses préférées, ainsi que nombreux autres invités spéciaux qui seront annoncés dans les prochains jours. Ce n'est pas une émission de style Oprah, fait que j'ai pas beaucoup d'argent, mais on va donner une couple de choses, c'est garanti, et vous allez les avoir en temps pour les fêtes. You still have time to submit your videos for Horizon's Feliz Navidad. The deadline is December 18th, and it will be presented on this show on December 23rd at 7 p.m. when Mz Horzion takes over Diversity in the Capital Social Show. Vous avez encore le temps de soumettre vos vidéos pour la chorale virtuelle Feliz Navidad. La date limite est le 18 décembre 2020, qui sera présentée le 23 décembre lorsque Mz Horzion prendra charge de diversityinthecapital.tv. Please go to blasttheradio.com and listen to the one and only Milkman every morning from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and catch Jesse and Jenna's Messy podcast. DITC is a proud sponsor of the local online radio station. And if you have not listened to BTR yet, they have a boogie break every morning at 10:30 in the morning to get your blood flowing. So I want to thank you all. Take care of each other, Ottawa Gatineau. Prenez soin de l'un et l'autre. You three stick around, and I will see you in a few moments. Merci d'être là. And I need to find where I'm going. And here we